Hi everyone, welcome back. So I've got something for you today that is super fun, super easy, and anyone can do it. And you don't need many ingredients, and it's going to look amazing. So what are we doing? Well, I'm going to show you a stained glass resin technique. And I've got my chopping board mold out. Now, I got this from Beebeecraft, and it actually came in a set of 5. And it was about $16.71, I think it is. That's in US dollars. So super cheap for 5 molds. And yes, I've got it propped up because it's got no support, but for 5 molds for under $20, I can live with that. They're going to last a long time. So I've just got the sides propped up. I'll just get whatever that is out of my tray. So if you want to become an affiliate for Beebeecraft, I've got a link in my description box. Go and check it out. You only need 100 subscribers, so you don't have to be a huge channel. And so I'm going to review this mold. So yes, the sides are a bit, how are you going? But we've got them propped up, so that's okay. It'll work just fine. So I've also got, wait till you see this. So we're going to cheat a little tiny bit. Look what I've got. How cute are they? So this is just one of those Perspex 2D little jobbies that you can hang them in a window. They've got 2 little holes there and they come with a chain. But I'm going to actually chop them off with my little snippies. I'm just going to carefully peel the Perspex off because we don't really want fingerprints, and I'll give it a quick wipe too. Oh, where will I put this? Oh, I'll just sit it right there. So, yes, we are going to be doing some stained glass. And yeah, this is stained glass. So I thought, oh, this will be quite fitting. And no, it's not Froggy Friday. Well, it might be. I don't know yet. We just have to wait and see. Now, with this Perspex, it's got one side, it's sort of like it's a little bit textured. And then the other side is shiny. So you can have it whichever way you want. Anyway, we're not going to put that in just yet because I need to pour a layer of resin, but I'll just show you. So it's just going to go in there, something like that. And then we are going to do a little bit of stained glass around it. So yeah, something a little bit different and super fun, and it should look amazing. Because if you Google chopping boards or charcuterie boards, I bet the first thing that comes up for resin will be your beach scene, you know, with your waves, and which look amazing, don't get me wrong, but we want to do something different. We don't want to be the same as everyone else. Let's do something original. So I've made up, I don't even know if it's going to be enough. You know me, I'm just wing it. I made up 8 ounces of my tea expert, my 1-to-1. So we just want to pour a little thin, clear layer first, and then we'll put our little froggy dudes down. Maybe when it's tacky. Oh, no, actually, I'll probably just wait until it has set up. But I just want a clear layer on the bottom, so that's what we're going to do. So let's give our mould a little spritz. Now, you don't have to use alcohol. You can always use a long neck lighter. You can use your heat gun, just whatever you prefer. I wouldn't use a torch, especially on a thin mould like this. I don't normally use torches at all unless it's super, super thick mould and I can control the flame. But yeah, definitely not on something like this, because you will melt your mould. Believe me, That was a learning curve a long time ago when I first started resin. So if I can save you guys from wrecking any molds, don't use a torch on something like this. But you guys probably already know that by now. So we'll just get our resin into our little tray. But yeah, how cheap is that? And you get 5. And okay, they might be thin and I've got to put the sides up, but there is not one mark on these molds. So yeah, I don't think I've had a bad mold ever from Beebeecraft. And they don't just have molds, so go and check out their website, because yeah, there's lots of crafting stuff on there. They've got so much stuff, there's too much stuff to mention. And I've got a discount code. You may as well take advantage of it. So it looks like we're about maybe a third, which is good. That's all we want. 1 1/3, because we've got to put our little froggy dudes down, and then we're going to do some stained glass, and then we're going to do a clear coat. So this layer, we want a third. So try not to add more bubbles, because I had my resin all nice and clear. It's just come out of my Alice Pro, which is awesome. Okay. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to give that another spritz, and I'm going to cover that up. So that's super easy for that step. And then I'll come back when this has cured. Put my little cover on. Not quite big enough, but that's okay. As long as no Yuki hairs go flying in there, we'll be all good. So I'll see you soon. Okay, so it's been a few hours, so I had to find my other netting thingy to cover my resin. The other one was a bit small. So I haven't even tested my resin. I'd say it's still a bit tacky. Oh, look, I haven't even got my gloves on. Oh, goodness me. Look, yay. Small gloves. Oh, that's better. Don't feel like a doof now, or a clown with floppy gloves. The other ones are good. Then when you take your gloves off and your hands are sweaty, and then you've got to put gloves on again and you can't get them back. Well, I can't get them back into the small ones then, so then I've got my mediums. Sorted. I'm just going to get my lighting and my camera sorted and I'll be hunky-dory. Right. So here's our little froggos. I think, oh no, I thought I cleaned them pretty good. Obviously not. Gosh, don't want to put alcohol on it just in case I discolour the stickers. You know what alcohol's like. And if you don't know what something's made of, you can always like discolour it. I've found some things. Okay, what's that? Oh gosh, that's terrible. Hang on, let me just give it a good scrub. Gosh, you think I'd be organised. How's that? Oh my goodness. Sorry guys, I'll put you on pause. Just while I get my dirty fingerprints off. Okay, I think we're clean. And you wouldn't believe it, something went flying in here and I thought, oh no. But I think it's basically cured. So what I'm going to do, so here is the side that they're like the textured sticker, which is nice. And I was nearly going to have that side up, but it is actually the back. But it's a lot brighter, I thought, this side. So we're going to pop this side down. And I cut my little knobby bits off, hanging bits, whatever they're called. I just use my little, you know, my little snippers. Snippers are so handy. Wire cutters. Oh, I'm just in the habit of calling them snips. It's a funny story. My dad, he always had a pair. Wherever he went, he always took them, and he called his digs. And when he passed away, oh, that's one thing I wanted was his digs. And they're just like little snips. My dad was a telephone linesman, technician, so fixing phones and that, until he got promoted and became the boss, big boss, which was awesome. And now I don't know what that is there. So I'm waffling again. Okay, so we've got our frogs in. I don't think they're going to go anywhere. And I was going to pop some resin in, but seeing, I don't think they're going to move. Hopefully they won't. So now that we've got our flat layer and we've got our raised layer here from our little froggy dudes from the acetate or whatever it is, it's like a hard plastic. So that's good because we want to make some stained glass as well. So we want to do some patterns. So I have got, and hopefully it works because I haven't tried it and I've had it for years, Pebeo Cern Relief. So you can get this in all different colours and you can just draw it on and it sort of gives you like a little ridge. So we want to create little ridges. And I'm using black because like the stained glass, there's always, you know, the black, oh, whatever it is it solder or something? However, whatever it is that keeps the glass in. I'm not sure what it is. I love stained glass. It's just, I've kept away from it because I just get too obsessed with crafts and new crafts. So I was like, no, I can't do that as well. So I thought I'd like to do some sort of around the handle. And I don't know if we need a little bit down here. I've got something there, so I'm going to have to now, I think, just to cover that. I was nearly going to do the whole lot. So go right around this and then do stained glass all the way around. But I don't know, would that be too much? So I thought I'd just do like the handle maybe and a little bit here and then maybe some over here. Decisions. What would you guys do? So we could have nearly even continued like the tree branch on. And it just depends how creative you want to be. You could have, you know, put some grass maybe or whatever. I just think I want to do a random pattern. So while I stand here procrastinating for the next hour, I'll put you on a little time lapse. So I'll just show you this. I'll show you on a scrap bit of paper because you'll probably want to see this. So take the lid off. Hopefully it's not too dry. As I said, I have not actually used the black for years. They are they're not cheap, but they last a long time. It's probably dried. Might have to get a pin or take the lid off. See if, yeah, I'll have to do that. Oh, I'll be back. Oh, crisis diverted, peeps. So, got the lid off, and you wouldn't believe it. big chunk just come flying out at me. And I've looked down, I've got white tights on, like good ones with the little sort of blue patterns on them. I've got my good lacy top on, and I just went, oh, I'm not getting this stuff all over me. Quick, went and grabbed my RESINERS apron. Oh my gosh, people, honestly, this is the best thing. I love it. Because, yeah, usually I've got my scrubbers on, which is just, you know, old daggy clothes that got resin and all sorts. So, got my good clothes on. Thought, oh, better get my apron on. Okay, so just got my pin sticking in that. So, at least we know it's not dried out. So that's awesome, because I've had this for years and I haven't used it for years, and it's full. And they're not cheap, just like everything else with resin, as we all know. Okay, so I put that other lid on. That's tight. That's just got dried paint. I need to get that out. Oh, no. Gosh, tweezers. Gosh, what is that? Okay, so we'll definitely be doing some stained glass there. Let me get rid of this. It's a shame I can't use it. I might be able to save it and skip it back in there. I don't know. Maybe in the tight A that I am. Well, I have to be, because I don't work. Only work at this, which I love. Oh, I work with my husband, as you know. Okay, Lisa, stop waffling. Get on with the show. Okay. Got my tools and stuff out of the road, all my little tools that I thought I might have to use. So, wish you guys could let me know what you would do. But I know I definitely want some in the handle. So I'm going to manoeuvre this over here closer to me. And sorry guys, but I'm going to get that light, which I need to fix. Actually, no, I won't. I'll move it back here, because that's just going to annoy everyone, me included. Okay, so now these are quite, yeah, not difficult to use, but you've sort of got to apply pressure. Oh, I have to get that down into the nib now that I've lost that big chunk. But come on. So I might even have to cut this, because my hole is not, like the hole in the nib, it's not thick enough. So we do that, because we want a quite thick-ish line. Cut that down a bit more. And it being not so long, it should be easier to manoeuvre. Let me just pliers. Just, it was a bit flat from me cutting it. Okay, let's see that. So yeah, you've got to, takes a bit to get your lines right. So I'm just going to basically draw some of these, hopefully. So I'll pop you on a little time lapse just so I can concentrate, because otherwise I'll just keep waffling on and not do what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, I'm back. That was just beyond ridiculous. Trying to do something when you can't see. It's just a disaster waiting to happen, and that's what happened. So I've sort of cleaned up my mess. In hindsight, I would do this when your resin is cured, and really I didn't need to go around the edge because there's so many other things we can go around the edge with. So by trying to clean this up too, what have I done? I've pushed the mould away from the resin. That'll teach me, won't it? So I'm sitting down now because, as you guys know, I can't craft properly standing up. Hats off to all those other creators that do it. So I know there is a lot of people that stand and do it. No, not me. I've got to craft sitting down. Plus, I need Maggie to see. And anyone that doesn't know what Maggie is my magnifying glass and ring light. So there she is there. So sorry about all the ring lights up this end, but Lisa needs to be able to see what she's doing, otherwise she gets a mess like this. So, but yeah, that took a while because, of course, there was a big mess up this end because I was doing other things. So, this is drying, which is good, and I'm just sort of cleaning up as best I can. I'm not too worried because our stained glass is going to go into these little squares and triangles and things. So we'll just be doing a darker colour down this end so we don't really see our lines, but I should be able to clean it up. It's not too bad. My resin isn't properly cured, and it would clean up easier if my resin was cured. That's okay. I'll just go with the flow and we'll just deal with it. So yeah, I'm just trying to fix up my terrible lines. Now I'm not going to say that these Pebeo Cern Reliefs, they take a bit to get used to, and yeah, I do struggle with them, but it's an awesome effect. And yeah, I'd probably be freaking out about now if I was doing this for the first time, but because I'm not. So I'm not freaking out because yes, it looks a mess, but it's not going to stay that way. Okay, so if I go quiet, I'm just concentrating. Now there was something else I was going to tell you, and I've lost my train of thought. Probably because I got stuck on I got stuck on the door handle on the way out to wash my hands to get all the black stuff off. And my wonderful apron that I was telling you about, oh, it looped over the catch thing on the door. Oh, and yanked me, and I just started to hear this little rip, but it didn't rip. See? It's oh, what would you call this? Would it be, might be polyester maybe. Like this, yeah, it's a protect your clothes, but it's not material, and it's, I don't know. I'll have to look it up on RESINERS website. Go and jump in my description box. There's a link to this apron, and go and have a look at the material. These are awesome. So if you don't have any old clothes that you don't mind getting wrecked, but when you're resining, grab yourself an apron. You should have seen the one I was using before. RESINERS sent me this one. I've got one of my grandma's. Now, growing up, that's all I remember. My gran, she always had an apron on. Always. And, yeah, just something you don't see these days. Aprons are awesome. Especially in your craft room. Because if you're like me, it can be a bit of a messy. I don't mean to be, but resin is messy. So, yeah, if you haven't started resining yet and you don't like mess, it's probably not the hobby you might want to get into. I mean, I don't get messy all the time, but sometimes accidents happen. And resin is a mess to clean up. Oh, so that takes me to my next thing, what I was going to tell you. So in my bathroom, I've got, and it's escaped my brain what it's called, but it's this soap. And it comes in a red paper. It comes in red paper. And so it's not in a box or anything, it's just wrapped in paper. Thick sort of red paper, I'm sure it's red. Anyway, the soap is grey and it's got like sandpaper. It's got like sand in it. And it's like, oh, I was going to say Autosol, but it's not Autosol, but it's something A-Sol, I think, something. Anyway, I'll pop it on the screen. It's awesome. So I have some for my husband because it's really good at getting grease off your hands. It's also awesome for getting resin off your hands. And sometimes, silly me, I'll take my gloves off and then I'll go, oh, I need to clean my cups. And instead of putting a pair of gloves on, Lisa just starts cleaning her cups and gets resin on her hands. Luckily, the resin that she uses doesn't really affect her until she touches her face, and then she will get a big massive breakout and look like the Elephant Man. So wear your PPE, people. Now, speaking of PPE too, good idea to use that when you mixing resin and that. I see a lot of people not using it when they're mixing mica powder, when they're mixing their diamond dust or their crushed crystal, and especially I don't see anyone wearing masks when they're sanding. And I sort of always, not always, but I do stress that is one, it is worse. Sand from your resin is worse for your lungs. It's like asbestos. It's the same as seashells. That's another one that's bad. If you're sanding seashells, trying to get them shiny, you don't want any of that dust getting in your lungs. Same as when you are sanding your resin, you don't want that getting in your lungs. It's like asbestos. And I see so many people with their little emery boards sanding away their little edges, and they haven't got a mask on. Wow. So dangerous. So there's one thing I can't stress enough for all you beginners out there. Yeah, sanding. And same with your mica powder. There's metals in some of it. I don't know if you guys have ever read the ingredients. And yeah, I've seen on a couple of channels, you know how when people are videoing and you can sort of see the dust and stuff in their room and the mica powder when they're mixing it, and it's all wafting up in the air. I don't know if you've ever noticed that. Yeah, that stuff's going straight into your face, up your nose, or down your throat. Little bits of metal. So, PPE is really, really important if you're going to do resin. Now, not everyone can afford the purifiers and stuff like that. So make sure your room's ventilated. But yeah, when you're mixing whatever, you should just have your mask on 24/7 really. I know it's hard for us creators because we're videoing and stuff, but sanding, wow, that's more deadly and dangerous than not having a mask on when you mix. Well, you've only got to see that now. I don't know if you've seen some of the channels that are reviewing the RESINERS air purifying machines, whatever they're called. They're going off mainly when the creator starts using alcohol, you know, their alcohol, their isopropyl alcohol. So, I know when I started resin, and don't follow my bad habits, people, the resin that I was using, and it's Australia based, so it's supposed to be made here in Australia too, but who knows. But it was saying, you know, it's non-toxic and it's, you know, it was okay apparently to not have to wear a mask, but they did recommend eye safety and gloves, of course, because as we all know, resin does affect people in different ways. Some people have really sensitive skin. My daughter, she's got really sensitive skin, so, you know, soap can irritate her. Whereas me, old steel hands, no. The resin doesn't really affect me until I touch my face or get it on my face. Well, if it doesn't sting or anything, but it just, yeah, I've got really sensitive skin. As you can probably see, and you can probably see all my scratches and things up my arms from my birds. Right, this is starting to look a little bit better. And you guys can fast forward. I was going to fast forward it all, but some people like this, and you know, some of my subscribers like listening to me waffle on about nothing and stuff and life. Also got to talk to someone. I can't just talk to my dog, my birds. Hubby's gone fishing, commercial fishing, and so he's gone to work. So I'm supposed to be painting, because I don't know if you've heard me say in my last couple of videos that I'm like renovating. So I'm giving my entertaining area out the back a bit of a overhaul. It needs it. So when we bought this house a couple of years ago, like it had been all renovated modern. It is an older house, but it's all modern inside. But it was rented before we bought it, and You know what tenants are like. Most of them are just rough and ready, and so the walls, you know, everything needs good paint inside, but they can wait. And our outdoor area, yep, it's time to do it. We were supposed to do it straight away when we moved in 2 years ago, but get busy with life. So we still haven't had our housewarming party yet. So I'm busy, yeah, doing skirting boards, you know, because like they tried to do it up, but they did it, what I say, a half-assed job, you know. So they'd put skirting boards on, but you could see all the like gaps, you know. Nothing was, there was no sealant used for anything. So, you know, so I'm trying to do it properly. So yeah, I've been sanding and gap filling and patching little dents and things in walls, you know, from people scuffing and animals and gosh knows what. And they had, like, you know, shelves up, so I'd pull all them down, patch up the little screw holes. And me being me, you know, I'm a bit, got to make sure it's right, whereas hubby's just like, oh, I haven't just started painting yet. I'm like, no, get it right. Then I've got to decide what colour I want my feature wall. What colour do I want my other walls? And then once that's done, I'm going to move on to painting the house. So I'll do the outside first. It needs good paint. Hubby thinks I'm crazy because painting's not his thing. And I'm sort of glad it's not his thing because I've seen him paint. And could have just imagined what colours he'd pick. So yeah, that's my job while he builds the aviary. Anyway, the longer I drag it out, and I don't have to go, you know, to work with him. Because when I'm at work with him, I can't be in here. I know, naughty. So I'm just going over my little ridges because I was naughty. I shouldn't have cut my tip. Then I was going to put it in a needle tip bottle without the needle, and I did a little bit and I was just like, oh no. I'm just going to take my time, sit where I can see. I'm probably being a bit too fussy with this, but that's just me. Alright, I'll stop waffling. I'll pop you guys on a little fast forward, otherwise I'll be here for hours. Anything with black, it's I like to do this. I've got a clear one. So that was a total disaster. Not happy with it, guys, at all. It's just not working out how I envisioned it. And I've tried to pick it out and I'm just like, I'm done. So I have made up 6.5 ounces, I think it was. And I've just run it through my LS Pro, which I probably should have just waited until I mixed up powders. But so I want to cover this black. Obviously, I can't get this out because that was put in when it was tacky. That will sort of come out, but I just couldn't be bothered. So I've got a new metallic pigment paste from Colour Obsession. So this is Midnight Purple Shimmer. Tool. Need a tool. Oh gosh. Probably not going to cut the mustard. Oh my gosh. There is my never mind, this will do. Really don't like taking these off, but it's all sticky and gooey. But yeah, these little pots, they just get so messy. Okay, so get one of my, sorry for reaching across, get one of my sticks that's already been coated. Because this is new, this luscious paste, I'm giving it a very good stir. And it looks blue in the screen. It's actually purple. So I should do it over here so you can see what I'm doing. Just moved all my camera and I want to get my lighting and stuff right. So I'm trying to do a big scoop. So this metallic pigment paste, I'm not sure about any other brand, but I know for a fact with this brand, it's transparent, or translucent, I should say. Look at that shimmer. You can see my stick. So we want it opaque because we want to cover that horrible mess. So I've also got my Orchid Plum by Archery Creations. And this is a mica powder. And it's more like a blue than a purple, even though it's called Orchid Plum. But it's lush. This luscious colour. So I'll probably change my mind again, but I've got another plan. Now, it has started to come away too. Yeah. So I tried to UV resin it. I don't know how successful I was. So we've got a luscious mixture. And I think we're going to have to put some more in actually. Don't think it's, yeah, I'd hate to put it in there and then it not be opaque enough. And it looks dark in this cup, but I can still sort of see my spoon. So let's get my little cutie patootie spoon out. and try that much this time. I had more than that last time. I'm not sure if I showed you. I'm sorry. Okay. Let's spritz our disaster area. I mean our lovely resin board. So yeah, in theory this would have been nice. It just wasn't working how I wanted it to. Now the aim is to pour this. I don't want it to go up over the acetate, so, or acrylic or whatever it is. So we want to cover that mess there, but we don't want to cover our frogs. So hopefully if it starts covering or going over, I'm going to scream. Then one of those days, you know, when you have those days and things just don't work. Guys, is it going over? Oh my God, go over. Right, let me just stop doing that and maneuver some resin before we have another disaster on our hands. What do you think of the colour? Looking purple? No, it's looking really blue, isn't it? It's bluey purple. Probably more blue than purple, but it's real sparkly. I don't know if you can see the sparkle. I love metallic pigment pastes, the shimmer in it from Colour Obsession. We're looking. And yeah, if it does go over and under here, where I think that I've sealed it back up, but I might not have. If it does, as long as it doesn't keep going and go over into that bit, you know what I mean, love? Okay, over here and do our little this. I think I've made up way too much resin. It's alright. Do everyone's favourite. Now I wouldn't use my torch, I mean my heat gun, because, I mean you could, but at that risk of our resin getting blown over our acrylic frogs, and we don't want that. I have to put a bit more resin in. Let's try and get it to these edges at least. chop, chop, chop. Chopping is always good too to release bubbles. Bit of that drip. A little bit more up here. So you might say, oh, look at that mess. Speaking of mess, why I'm sort of being so fastidious on my drips, because I've found over the years, the neater you can do it, and nobody expects you to do it straight away, but if you get into the habit of it, and cleaning up your little drips and stuff, when you come to demold, you'll find it's much better when there's nothing hindering the mold, because sometimes you might not be fully cured, as in your project might be still bendy, and yeah, if there's any dry resin on your mold, it can come off, you can get stuck on your tacky uncured project, and yeah, that's when you don't have to trim, just your piece can look nicer, more finished off. So, oh, still haven't heard from Margaret about the debubbler. So, I'll give it a little bit longer. I won't just, redo it. I only redrew it the other day because the lovely, gorgeous Anne instructed me to, because she actually won and she had one. So she's like, please redraw it, which was so nice of her. Thank you, Anne. So, when I redrew, it was Margaret. So hopefully Margaret will contact me soon to let me know if she wants it or not. If she doesn't, I'll just keep going. So you never know, guys. But I will be doing another one, hopefully at the end of April. So I might leave this one as a surprise, I don't know. But you guys will want to enter, and I will let you know the details very soon. Right. So, are we looking? I think we're right to our acetate, aren't we? We haven't gone over, have we? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, hopefully you guys can see that sparkle. Let me take you down. Can you see that? The gorgeous, or what? Like a galaxy. Alright, I'm going to babysit this for a bit. I'm going to give it a spritz in a sec. Hopefully that won't push it over. And then I'll come back when this is set up. So see you then. Oops, back again. It's quick. Forgot to do my extras. Silly sausage. Oh, definitely got the hippo. But I might maybe do a little perfume butter and maybe our toad. I'm just going to get in the ears. Swan bubbles just popped up. Now this little perfume bottle, I haven't actually poured it yet with resin. I've only poured it with casting powder. And they turned out so cute. I will show you later. I just want to see what the difference is with the resin. Hopefully it won't be too deep. Okay, I'm giving it a spritz to release some of those bubbles. Hopefully it won't, that surface tension doesn't break, and over she goes. Would be, oof. Alright, I'll see you guys very soon. So I'm back. And I had a little think, and I remembered I had this paper. So if you saw my Temu haul a few weeks back, I got this paper, lots of different designs, and it looks like the LED light. So I was going through that, and I picked out these two. And I used my matte varnish. So this is like a sealer, because I prefer the spray over the like Mod Podge, that sort of thing. So because I always get brush marks, so I prefer the spray. But you just use whatever suits your needs. You mightn't get brush strokes. I just like this one. It's easier for me. So getting back to this little guy, want to see what I did after my paper dried? I did what I originally was going to do before I stuffed up my Pebeo tube and chopped the top off it, which you never do, people. So this is what I wanted to do, just something like that, a little bit of LED light. So I thought that looks quite good. So all I need to do now is do a top coat of clear, and I had a few fingerprints, so always be careful about that. Once you've glued something on, try not to get any glue on here. And if you do have to clean it, you can scratch your resin quite easily with paper towel. So try and use a little, I think it's like a microfiber cloth. You get them in your prescription glasses case. They're made to not scratch glass. That's what your resin's like. So if you use a paper towel, you're more than likely going to scratch your resin. So stuck on my little LED light pieces, and it looks so much better, I think. So I'm going to, oh, sorry, I demolded these little dudes too because I just couldn't wait any longer. But this is a bit manky because my mold wasn't cleaned properly. I'd used Ecopore in it previous and didn't clean my mold out properly, so it's got little, I don't know if you can see it. It's really pretty with the glitter, but it's got smearies, so it's a bit of a fail. And I need to finish the lid. But we've got a hippo and we've got a little toad. It's not a matte mold, and I wouldn't say it's a shiny one. It's probably in between. Look at my lovely clean hands. Oops, my phone went flat. What I was saying before that was, did you see my lovely hands? I've been painting the bird cage today, the aviary. Oh, I do everything here, so no manicured fingers on this channel. Keeping it real, peeps. Okay, so I made up 10 ounces of my Tea Expert, my 1-to-1, and I put a flat, my little micro spoon, so a whole spoon of my diamond dust, because we need a little bit of sparkle, I think, in our little chopping board. Not that it's going to be a chopping board, but so I'm going to give it a little spritz with my isopropyl alcohol, and I've just got this out of my vacuum chamber, my resin. I want to pour a layer all over. So whether this will fill it up or not, I'm not too worried if it's not completely full, as this isn't actually going to be a chopping board, but I do love the shape. So I want the look of the chopping board, but it's actually going to be a wall art, and I'll put a little D hook on the back or something, and I want to put it in my kitchen, hang it on the wall. Before I forget, I just need to pinch some of this resin on my little lid, my little perfume bottle. Put that over there. I think it turned out pretty with the paper lead light. Stained glass. I think I was waffling on before about what the little sort of black mark lines are in between the glass, and it's lead, isn't it? That's why people call it lead light. It just sort of occurred to me, sort of like a little brainwave, that, oh yeah, some people call that lead light, so it must be lead. Well, I presume it is. Gosh, tell me if I'm wrong. It's something I've always actually wanted to do, because if you ever go into some churches, and the lead light windows are just stunning. They are works of art. Okay, so that's 10 ounces, but it's not full. It's nearly full, but I think that'll be heaps. How are we looking? Yeah, just a little bit of sparkle. We just need a bit. I'm not sure if you can see that, but on demold I'll get you down and you'll be able to see that. I'm going to prop it again because it is pushing out. So I'll set that up. I don't think you need to see me setting this up. So I'll give it another spritz and then I will cover it up But other than that, I shall see you soon for the demold. Oh, this is cured. Are you ready for the big reveal? No, let's just demold it, hey? It's turned out super shiny, but glittery. Easy to demold. What do you think? Nicely see-through. I love it. The thickness. Oh, look at our back. Doesn't it? Oh, that was a clear Pebeo. And that's where I had to UV. I'll probably just clean that up with the deburring tool. And give this a little debur. And then I'll probably do a top coat, I'd say, just so I can get some doming. I was just wondering whether I should go around it with a pen. Silver, gold, or we'll just leave it. What do you reckon? We should just leave it. But yeah, I love it. It's turned out great. What do you guys reckon? Well, you can see that sparkle. Nice little hint of sparkle through it. What do you think of the lead light paper? It turned out well. Very pleased. Well, I'm going to go and clean this up and decide whether I should edge it. I probably shouldn't. I think I'm going to do a silver edge, but I think it'd be too much. Maybe gold. I don't know. I have to think about it. Love to know what you guys think. Oh, look, we've gone over there a bit. Just crept over there, but that's not too bad. And there. Okay, and a little bit there and there. Gosh. That probably happened after I went to bed last night, and because I spritzed it with alcohol. Other than that, it's pretty good. Well, you've all seen how I use a deburring tool, and if you haven't, go and check it out. It's on my homepage, my YouTube channel, because I don't use the deburring tool like everybody else. I've got a much easier method and a much more, excuse me, effective method, which doesn't scratch. And you can use my method left or right-handed. Super easy. Go and check it out. And I'll come back and show you the top coat, or show you how to top coat, and reveal our little dudes. I'll see you soon. So it's been a couple of days, and I thought I'd better show you guys, especially for the beginners that haven't seen anyone top coat or don't know how to top coat or want to see a different method, because I don't tape up my sides. I use latex, so I just find it's really easy. So it does stink, so I'm going to put my mask on, but basically I'm just going to put some in my cup, and then I'm going to brush it all over the back, or most of the back, just sort of around, you know. I'll probably leave this bit. Sometimes I get a bit messy, and it's just easier to do it all, but yeah. I'll do it all. That way you can see a difference. So basically all I've done too is Got my deburring tool out, cleaned up my edges, so they're looking very nice. A lot of people don't deburr their edges before they top coat. Just gives you that little lip, but I just like to have mine all nice and neat. If you don't know how to use the deburring tool, I've got an awesome tutorial, because I actually use it different to everyone else, and I find my method much easier to use it. And yeah, you don't scratch. You're less likely to scratch anyway. So I'm just going to pop this. Actually, no, I won't do that yet. Getting ahead of myself. So I'm going to put my mask on and slap my latex on. So that was super quick and easy. All I've done was gone and washed my brush and put my latex away and my mask. So that should dry, oh gosh, in another 10 minutes. And then I'll be ready to do my top coat. So yeah, I just find it's quicker and easier than applying the tape. And it's easier to peel off as well, which I'll show you very soon. So while I'm waiting for that to set up, I'm going to go and mix up some resin, and I think that's all I had to tell you. Probably forgotten something. You can always send me a message or add them to the comments, and I'll always get back to you. Alright, I'll go and mix up some resin. Okay, so I've just made up my resin, and I'm using my Platinum 360 Plus. It's a fast cure, sets up in about 4 hours, and it's super thick, which is good for doing top coating. So if you haven't got a top coating resin, just the thickest resin that you've got. And I've always top coated in whatever I've had, because sometimes when I first started resin, I sort of only had the one type, and it still worked. You've just got to be careful. Got to make sure that your levels, they're dead level, and yeah, watch your sides. And this is dry. I don't know if you can see that. So yeah, it's super quick. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to put down, I just use these cookie cutters just to prop it up, just in case. But you want to make sure that whenever you're top coating, that your resin has fully cured. This has been a few days, depending what you're propping it up on. you could get ring marks. So look at how dirty that is. I thought I cleaned that. Oh my gosh. So I'm not going to use a paper towel. Got out my little prescription glasses microfiber cloth because they don't scratch, and resin scratch is super easy. Gosh, it's dirty. I thought I cleaned it good. You don't want any fingerprints on there or smearies. So yeah, as you can see, I decided not to paint my sides or do any paint pen around the edges. I think it looks better. So yeah, hopefully I made the right decision. Just checking that in shot of the camera. Now this resin is super bubbly, but I've got my torch. Just going to make sure you don't overheat it, otherwise you might break the surface tension. And I've made up, gosh, probably way too much. Did I make up? Oh, I think I made up 170, which no, it's going to be way too much. It's 170 grams. I don't even know if I've used this for a top coat, but I thought I'm running out of time, so it should be okay. Hopefully I can get all these bubbles out. Right, let's just use a this little dude. So yeah, you can use whatever you like. Some people use a stick and sort of flick it to the edge. Sort of like just to push mine to the edge. Some people sort of flick it over. Most resin will self-level anyway. I want to get it to make sure it goes to the sides because it is quite thick. I will be doing a lot of chopping with this. And to try and, excuse me, get the bubbles out. Because it is bubbly. It's a bit cool in my studio tonight. I should have warmed it up actually. Might have helped. And if it starts there pulling away from the sides, you know, to add a little bit more resin. How are we looking? The light is not good in my studio tonight. Turn my other light off because it reflects. But it's made it a lot darker, but I've ordered new lights, so hopefully when they come it will resolve that issue. It's driving me bonkers. Just sort of making sure that it has touched the top edge everywhere. Now I wished I had a smaller torch with a lesser flame, but I don't. I've got my long neck, but be careful. One of those little micro bubbles out. You can use your heat gun too, but I just find it, I move it around too much. Go out, go out. All right. Have another check. Check all my sides. Probably add it a little bit more. That's just not right. Coming to this side. I'll add a little bit more. Just so it's fully doming, which it's not yet. Okay. Yeah, it's not. That's the problem. After you've done it a few times, you'll know the difference between doming and as you can see it along the side. I don't know if you can see that. And it's sort of looks like it's a bit jagged in places because it's not domed. And the more you add, you can see it moving up. Now that line is straight, so hopefully you can see that. Yeah, it's just starting to dome now. Just have a little bit more. And then bend down to eye level. And I can still add more. Let's add a little bit more. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm not going to have as much left over as what I thought, so that's good. Much easier to dome with the thicker resin. It can be done with thinner resin, but you're on that risk of it going over the edges. Whoops. Gosh. All right, well, I'm going to leave it at that, and I'll come back when it's ready to show you the end results. Actually, no, I'm going to come back when I show you how to put the D-hook on the back, because some of you guys would probably want to see that too. So I'll see you then. So this is cured. It's turned out pretty good. I'm happy with it. And oh, I had one little drip there. I'm not sure why, but seeing it's for me, I'm not even going to worry about it. No big deal. So we can take our silicone, our latex off, sorry. And that's how easy it is. And yeah, you don't need to wear gloves. I've just got gloves on because my fingernails are grotty, of course. Still going with my Renos, so yeah, that's how easy it is to get that latex off. That's why I love using it. It's so much easier than tape. And if you do have drips that come down onto your latex, with tape generally got to heat it up with your heat gun. With latex it usually just pulls off without having to do that. So awesome. So all we have to do now is put on our little D-hook. And I'm not sure if that's what they're called, but that's what I call them, a D-hook, because they look like a D. And they come with the little screw, which you need a Phillips head screwdriver. So that's like the one with the cross. Or a drill. I've got my battery drill out, but I just wanted to check with my screw. So it's not going to go all the way through because we don't want it to. So it'd be nothing worse than it coming through on our front. Now, I don't know if I told you, but the resin I use for my top coat, it's a food safe resin. So before anyone freaks out, in case I do want to use it, you know, to put hors d'oeuvres or whatever on, it's food safe. So it's all good to do that. So just want to roughly make a mark where my middle's going to be. Can eyeball it, but what are we, 24, so roughly 12, so roughly in between the little frog's nostrils, and hopefully by having like the handle, it's not going to off-center it, if you know what I mean. If it does, I can always put 2 in with a little bit of wire. It should be okay, but I just want to check. So I sort of, I think I want it about there. Yeah, because I don't want it to go in there, because if the screw does go through, I'm going to see it on the other side. So that should be okay. So I'll just make a little mark. So about there. So much easier doing this without gloves, I must say. Oh goodness. Should know me by now. Oh. So I just want to make sure, oh actually the drill bit I've got on is a bit big. So I just need to swap that out. So I'll just find a small drill bit. I'll be back. Oh, that was quick. I couldn't even find one. And I just realised I didn't have my my microphone on. So, oh my gosh. All right. So I'm going to have to be careful with this that I don't go all the way through. And that I only do a little bit because I don't want to make up the hole too big. Okay. See how that is? A bit more, I think. Going on with this drill, but it's a bit. You put that in real good. So yeah, if you've got a little hand drill, you can use that. This is having a moment, isn't it? Gosh, how unprofessional. Oh gosh. I'll spit up. got a little bit more. Right, hopefully that should be okay. So I like to actually glue mine, glue and screw. So I've just got my actual E6000 today, not the cheapo stuff. Oops, just hit the light. Oh my gosh. Hairs in the road. So yeah, if you are going to use your drill, don't forget about your safety gear. So I've just put a glob on the back of my D hook. Hopefully you can see that. Placing it where it needs to go. Put my little screw in. Oh my gosh. Helps when you can see. Got my little screwdriver there, but I'll just swap out my drill bit for my other drill bit. Beautiful. Right. Just going to wipe off any excess glue. So I'll just get my alcohol. And all we need to do now is put some of our little silicone feet on. Beautiful. Sorry, my mic just went. So that's our chopping board all done. Hopefully you guys like that. Sorry it was a bit of a long video, but I wanted to show you all the stages. So here's our little hippo. She turned out pretty, and I've got a new addition of little teeth sticking out down the bottom, which I thought were really cute, and they're just like little pearls. So yeah, she's really cute, especially with her little yellow handbag. She's all matchy-matchy. And then we've got our little toad. And he and she's all matchy-matchy too. And then got the little perfume bottle, and I end up doing a pink lid. So that turned out pretty. And then here are the other ones that I did in the Ecopol, or the casting powder. So yeah, they turned out super pretty. And yeah, I love this one. That's my favourite. So cute. Well, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you liked this. If you want to get this chopping board, I've got the discount code in my description box and the link. So go and get it that way. If you want a little bit of a discount, you may as well use it. But yeah, awesome chopping board. I love it. So I'm going to do a few more things. I've got lots of ideas for this. So thanks heaps for watching, everyone. Go and jump on my website if you wanted to check out anything that I have for sale. And here are the pics. And thanks for watching. I shall see you next time. Bye.